Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Stencil Saturday video. Since we last week did the flower designs using just basic shapes from each of my stencils, I decided I might as well do the same thing. And you can see I have marked the same thing as I did last week. I have one crossed hexagon, two diamonds this time because I want to show you two different things that you can do with a diamond, and then one bullseye. And what we're going to do is, for this, we're going to kind of fit some leaves into these shapes that you could, ideally then, if you're going to use a shape to do, let's say, an edge to edge or create a border or something using the flowers from last week, this will give you some leaves that you can also add into that, whether you use them with the flowers or alone. So just a couple of ideas, and obviously there are any number of ways that you could change it to make it more your own, or, so we're going to start with the hexagon up here. And so for this particular one, what I'm going to do is grab my little chalk marking pencil. And so what I'm going to do is just kind of throw in this random, I'm just going to start at the bottom here. I'm just going to put in a random kind of a curvy line that will let me kind of fill this whole thing, and I'm going to end back at a point so you can see it's just a random. It doesn't need to be, it's just so that I know I can work off of this and be able to reach like everything to make sure that I can fill this. And so what I'm going to do is just a thin fern, and I'm going to do both sides at the same time. I'm going to work like this side and then jump over to here. And so my goal with this is to be sure that wherever I come up to the edge, to kind of make sure I followed that, so that in the end you kind of can see that shape. It works, this design I do most often with like a heart shape, and it's really nice because you can make this beautiful like block design of simply this giant heart that's filled with like ferns. It works really well with feathers as too. And when you're done, you can very clearly see the heart shape. We're going to go ahead and do this hexagon. Start right here in the corner. And I'm not actually going to stitch this spine. I'm just going to kind of let it form as I move along doing these fern leaves. And so it's really just a long, thin kind of S leaf. And I'm staying right on that outside edge. Let that edge of that fern run right along that chalked stencil line. So you can see how it's going to make the shape of the hexagon simply by the fact that I keep using part of the leaf to make that hexagon shape. Right there along the edge. When I get towards the very end here, we'll go ahead and form kind of a top right in here and follow along that final hexagon edge, and you can see how it just totally fills it in, and it gives the illusion of that hexagon. Now, one other thing that you could do with this would be to maybe for a border design, as an example, just mark the stencil, one after another, and they could you could really easily kind of backtrack through here, come out, and go right into another one. So now let's start on this diamond. I kind of tipped it to the side. I don't know. It seems a little more leaf-like to me that way. This time, instead of actually putting something really inside, I'm going to form this leaf mostly by traveling along the outside. So I'm going to start right here. And it's kind of more of like, I guess, kind of a jungle leaf feel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of curve up, travel along there, and just kind of go in a little bit, like a little spiky. And then at the top, I'm going to make that be the top, and then just work my way back down here. You just put that little spike, and if they're not all in the same spot, it's totally okay. And when I get to the very bottom, I would probably come up here with kind of a little wavy line, and then just come back. And these are really, I really like these, because it's different. You know, it's a lot different look than, you know, kind of a lot of the leaves that we generally choose to use. Would work really great. You can do this even really large, a large scale. I just love the way it looks along here. It's a lot more tropical. It would work great, like if you had a batik quilt that you wanted an edge to edge. And then for this diamond, we're going to use the fern shape again. And this time we're going to kind of make it a little bit, not fancier, but a little bit more not necessarily realistic leaf. And so I'm just going to do the fern leaves again, both sides at once. Use that center dividing line of the diamond to know where to put the spine. Now when I get to this point, I'm going to go all the way up like that and come back. And then do that again on this side. And then you can come up here and put like this really neat little swirl and travel right out. I like these a lot. It almost looks kind of like, I don't know, more feathery, I guess, than leaves. So that's another option. Nice and fast, really. It's all, you know, you go up there, do all the stitching, and you come right out, and you could travel right into your next element. Or again, if it were an edge to edge, you just continue on to your next shape. Now on this one, I'm going to make kind of a funky, I think this one almost looks like it would work really well if you had like an oriental feel to your quilt. I'm just envisioning, you know, you can see, I don't know, hope you can see where the break in the stencil is here. So that's kind of the center. So I just kind of, I'm going to start from there. Actually, you know what, let's just draw a line here so that you can see where I'm going to. And there's, I mean, I mark stuff all the time. There's no shame in marking because I want to know where I'm going. And so I'm just going to start at the bottom right here. And what I'm going to do is kind of like these spiky, I don't even know what you want to call these. And we're just going to fill that circle. We're going to keep it rounded. These are going to kind of get a little bit larger as I go up, because now the circle is wider there. I'm going to do thin one again because now it's getting smaller. And at the top up here, I like to do this nice little, it's kind of rounded. It's like a triangle, I guess, that follows the edge of the circle. And I think it's just really neat looking, different. And this is another one that you could do fairly large. I mean, if you did this in like, I mean, you could do this in something like, you know, I don't know, an 8-9 inch circle, really. Because what you would want to do in that case is like for these ones where they get bigger, in order to have it be enough quilting, you could easily come back out and put like a little spine in there. A vein, whatever you call that. So let me go ahead and get rid of the chalk marks so that we can take a better look at these. Okay, so I got rid of most of the chalk. And let's take a look at these. So we have this, the hexagon leaf, where this kind of frond kind of fills in and it gives the illusion of the hexagon. Then we have this more kind of tropical leaf, like a jungle leaf. And then we have this kind of fancy, frillier one. Kind of has like a little swirl in the middle and the little ferns that reach all the way up to the top. And then this nice one that looks like a circle, fills the circle. So not only are you, able to use them for flowers, you can use them for leaves that you can then combine. Any one of these shapes you could line up in a row and do these designs as a border. Even a block design, really. If you look at these diamond ones, you could do one and connect them in 4 like that, and do this around the whole thing for a block design. So I hope that's helpful, and that you might give it a try, inserting, whether it's leaves, maybe try feathers, because they would fit into any of these shapes just as well. Let me turn this light off and see if we can, oh yeah, we can see it a little bit better. Those ones, and then these two. Okay, so I will see you next time. Bye.